The perfect morning that broke him. Every guru says the same thing. Wake up early, cold shower, journal, no phone. Like happiness is hiding somewhere between a kettlebell and a cup of black coffee. So Monkey did it. He built the perfect morning, the kind they say changes lives. 5 a.m. alarm, cold shower, gratitude journal, meditation, silence. By 7 a.m., Monkey had conquered the day. By 9 a.m., the day fought back. The caffeine wore off. The silence turned into noise. The motivation? Gone. Vanished. Like his will to keep pretending this felt amazing. He'd done everything right, so why did it feel so wrong? Monkey stared at his checklist. All boxes ticked. But behind every good habit, something darker was growing. That quiet voice asking, "Are you doing this for growth or for guilt?" His brain wasn't inspired, it was exhausted. His discipline wasn't building him, it was draining him. And just when Monkey thought he was winning the morning started winning against him. Because maybe, just maybe, the routine wasn't broken. Maybe he was. Or worse, maybe the system that told him to win the morning was designed to make him lose something else entirely. Motivation, joy, and peace. This isn't a story about success. It's about what happens when the pursuit of discipline becomes the destruction of it. And for Monkey, that realization came right after the cold shower. But we'll get to that. Part 2. The myth of the perfect morning. Monkey thought he had cracked life. Wake up early, read a book, meditate, no distractions. But something strange happened. The more he optimized his mornings, the more he hated them. The sunrise started to feel like a deadline. The cold shower felt less like a cleanse, and more like punishment for being human. Every time Monkey scrolled past another 5 a.m. routine that changed my life video, his brain whispered, "Maybe yours isn't good enough." That's when Monkey realized he wasn't chasing peace anymore. He was chasing perfection, and perfection always moves the finish line. He had become addicted to the idea of discipline, like a junkie chasing the high of the next motivational quote. See, the brain loves planning success more than living it. It's called anticipation dopamine. You feel rewarded just by imagining progress. So Monkey didn't need achievements. He just needed another productivity YouTuber to tell him he could have them. Every checklist tick gave him a hit. Every cold shower, another illusion of control. He wasn't becoming disciplined, he was becoming dependent. Monkey didn't need a morning routine. He needed an intervention. But here's the twist. The more burnt out he became, the more he doubled down. He thought the cure for exhaustion was more effort. And that was the biggest trap of all. Because when you start treating self-improvement like punishment, your brain stops improving and starts defending itself. Monkey thought he was building habits, but what he was really building was resentment. And resentment is the fastest way to destroy motivation. But Monkey didn't know that yet. He just knew something inside him was cracking. And it wasn't the eggs in his perfect protein breakfast. The crash was coming. He just didn't know when. Part 3. The performance trap. At first, Monkey thought the problem was effort. Maybe he just wasn't trying hard enough. So he leveled up. New planner, new routine, new notebook that said, "Dominate your day." He started filming his breakfast because apparently the internet needs to see his oatmeal to believe he's productive. But something weird happened. The more Monkey perfected the routine, the less it actually changed him. It wasn't a morning anymore. It was a performance. Monkey didn't wake up to improve his life. He woke up to prove it. His routine had become theatre. His motivation, a prop. His discipline, a costume he wore until noon. Behind the camera, Monkey was exhausted. But online, he looked unstoppable. And that's the trick. The moment self-improvement becomes performance, you stop growing and start acting. Monkey thought he was chasing success. But really, Success had turned into an audience. Every good morning post was an applause. Every "you're so consistent" comment was another hit of validation dopamine. His life started to feel like a movie, except he wasn't the director anymore. The algorithm was, so Monkey pushed harder. More reps, more routines, more fake smiles at sunrise. But no matter how early he woke up, his purpose was always running 5 minutes behind. The act was getting harder to maintain. The motivation mask was starting to crack. And once it did, Monkey finally saw what was underneath. It wasn't laziness, it wasn't failure, it was exhaustion dressed in discipline's uniform. But once you've built your identity around being the productive one, what happens when you admit you're tired? Monkey was about to find out. Part 4. The Crash. One morning, Monkey didn't wake up early. No alarm, no affirmations, no sunrise victory lap, just silence. For the first time in weeks, he didn't jump out of bed. He just stayed there. And it felt terrifying. He wasn't burnt out from laziness. He was burnt out from trying too hard to not look lazy. His perfect routine, the one built to create motivation, had quietly deleted it. Monkey's brain wasn't chasing growth anymore. It was begging for rest. But rest felt like failure, so he fought it, scrolling through other people's motivational mornings, trying to borrow their energy like caffeine for the soul. He didn't realize that what he called discipline was just fear wearing a Fitbit, fear of falling behind, fear of being average, fear of becoming invisible. Monkey had mistaken exhaustion for weakness. But it wasn't weakness, it was a warning. The human brain isn't a machine you can schedule into happiness. It's a living thing. It needs boredom. It needs rest. It needs mornings that aren't content. Monkey had forgotten that peace is productive too. And now, lying there with no alarm, no checklist, no routine, for the first time he felt something he hadn't felt in months. Stillness. No goals, no guilt, just quiet. And that quiet was the sound of his mind rebooting. But he didn't know it yet. He just knew that something inside him had finally stopped fighting. The crash wasn't the end of his discipline. It was the beginning of his awareness. Part 5. The Reset. The next morning, Monkey didn't set an alarm. He just let the sun do it. No cold shower, no journal, no fake motivation soundtrack, just quiet. He made coffee, the normal way, not the monk-approved version with butter and guilt. He didn't film it, he didn't post it, he just drank it. And for the first time, it tasted like peace. Monkey realized something simple, something all the routines had forgotten to mention. Motivation doesn't come from doing more, it comes from doing what matters. His new morning routine wasn't impressive, but it was honest. He spent 10 minutes stretching, wrote one thing he actually felt grateful for, ate breakfast without checking the time. No trophies, no dopamine fireworks, just space to exist. And slowly, motivation returned. Not the loud, dramatic kind from YouTube montages, but the quiet kind that shows up when your brain finally feels safe. Monkey stopped trying to win the morning. Instead, he learned how to meet it. Because you can't fight every sunrise like it's a competition. Sometimes you just have to sit with it. Maybe discipline isn't about control. Maybe it's about kindness. Because when you stop chasing the perfect routine, you finally have time to build a real life. So if you're watching this wondering why your morning routine stopped working, maybe it didn't. Maybe you just outgrew the version of yourself who needed it. Monkey's morning routine didn't fail. It just evolved. And in that evolution, he found something far stronger than motivation: peace. Because sometimes the most productive thing you can do is nothing at all.